All right, so this is becoming some kind of a common thing. I'm not sure what exactly is going on here, but we are having people that are relying on the auto connect when you first boot up and it automatically connects. And for some reason, that is failing. I'm not sure what is going on. I'm not sure what the culprit of behind it is, um, but it's preventing people from being able to access. So, what would happen if you're. So, I'm going to go through a couple of different scenarios here. So, I'm going to reboot my node, and the radio's over there, so you should be able to hear it when it comes back on. The process of it. So, it takes a couple seconds to be able to get the process to go. I think the radio's on over there. That would kind of suck if it wasn't. So, hopefully, everybody has a radio with a DTMF mic. Apparently, my radio's not on over there. There it goes.
IP address.
So, if you hear that, but no IP
192.
address, like we're hearing the IP address, that's a good thing.
8.0.178.
So, if you hear the physical IP address, then you're good. You're ahead of the game. That just means that your auto connect has failed. Now, if you do not hear your IP address being announced, then you have a little bit of other issues and you can get a hold of me. But if you have the issue where it just connects or it turns on and it says the IP address and that is it, then hopefully you have a radio with a DTMF mic or DTMF number pad. So when you joined this network, everybody got a welcome email, and I will be more than happy to send it if they didn't. If you don't have that email anymore, I hope people bookmarked it because it had a lot of good information on it. It had the website with all of our DTMF commands. But the connect command isn't that big of a deal, so I'm going to go ahead and say it anyways. Simple thing to do if you have the radio with the DTMF buttons, DTMF is numbers, is simply push and hold the push to talk button. And you're going to dial *5 followed by whatever you want to connect to. So it's most simple 600, 600, and you let go. As soon as you let go, the reason why you're not hearing it is because this is a dead radio. The charger is broken. But as soon as you let go, you should hear it connect to where you want it to go to. And then if it tells you it's a connection failed, well, then you have a little bit of a different issue as well. That is something you need to get a hold of me about and let me know, hey, I'm having a connection failed. There's a couple of moving parts that I have to do to maintain the network, and sometimes I drop the ball. I get a little busy and forget to renew some things, and so some things get expired, and I have to go in there and renew them. You sending me that email simply reminds me, hey, go get that, go check that out and renew it. If you get that,
Node 600 connected to node 1010.
then you're good to go. Unfortunately, I'm not sure exactly what's going on with the auto connect. And so if you don't have a mouse and keyboard, it is a little bit more, or not a mouse and a keyboard. If you don't have DTMF radio, it's a little bit more complicated. As long as you are getting an IP address, you should be able to remote into the Pi itself. And I do have some videos, and I'll put them in the description of ways to access your Pi. And I believe in them videos, it has how to access it and how to actually physically dial it from the command lines if you do not have a radio with DTMF. So hopefully this will help somebody that has had this problem happening. And like I say, if you don't get the IP address, that means you have probably changed your router. A lot of things people don't realize is your devices are stupid. So if you change internet service providers and they give you a new router and you say, hey, I want my router to be named blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm going to use real terms. My network router is network with a capital N. That's the defaulted stuff for the software. So I had to buy my own router because the company I was getting my internet through provided me with a router and they kept screwing it up. And they kept blaming me. And I'm like, dude, it's the name of my network. Like, it's simply just network with a capital N for the username and the SSID. And network one with a lowercase n and the number one. And they kept screwing it up for the 5G. And so I kept telling them. But, anyways, if you call up and say, hey, I need network with a capital N for the SSID and the password is network one, this is, I'm just saying, this was my old one. This has been what I've always used. All of your devices will jump back onto the router. You don't have to go through and change your TVs. You don't have to go through and change your laptops, your computers, your phones, your tablets. And, everything will just pop back on. And most ISPs will name it to whatever you want. Now, it gets a little fun if you go from like AT&T and you got an AT&T name and you go to like Spectrum or something. That could be a little fun. But screw the ISP. You should have the right to be able to name your wireless as what you see fit. And I've forgotten this a lot. Will things work on cell phones hotspots? Absolutely. You can name the hotspot the same as your house, and then when you pull away, it should automatically jump to it. But keep in mind, if you've got a family or people that ride with you that connect to your home's Wi-Fi router, that they will also connect to your hotspot. So it's not a good idea when you're out with the family, but it is okay when you're out by yourself. Or you could limit your connections and just hope your Pi connects to it first before everybody else. So hopefully this helps some people. And I always say, if you have a node that I sold to you and it is not working, you need to get a hold of me. GMRS101000@gmail.com. There should be no reason why your nodes are not working. And if they aren't working, we need to get them working. So have yourselves a good day. And hopefully we'll hear everybody on the net tonight. Thanks for tonight, Friday night. I forget sometimes people might be watching it down the road.